This is ABC.
Every morning, Deborah Martinez goes to work. Every morning, she stops at 7-Eleven, where before she catches the bus, she catches one of the best cups of hot coffee in modern times. Selected beans, ground fresh for each pot, on the spot, day in and day out. Fresh ground coffee on the fly at 7-Eleven, the sign of the times.
According to the Surgeon General's latest report, nicotine is as addicting as heroin or cocaine. But now government-sponsored research has produced a breakthrough that is proving to be up to 5 times more effective than other self-help stop-smoking methods. Join E.G. Marshall for his television special to learn how this revolutionary computer is helping thousands quit smoking without pills, gums, or gimmicks. Don't miss a stop-smoking breakthrough.
Here on channels 35 and 42.
If you're talking about it, it's on Donahue.
Mid-Columbia, you've made us #1 again. And after all, we've been meeting like this for over a decade now, so you can count on us to bring, in the future, stimulating and controversial topics just like we have in the past, along with both sides of issues that concern us all. Mid-Columbia, don't let a morning go by without letting me be a part of it. It's all right here on Donahue, weekdays at 9 on KVEW TV.
In Kennewick, we watch KVEW News every weeknight.
From ABC News, The Weekend Report, here's Tom Jarriel.
Good evening. A search is underway tonight in the waters off Japan for 2 U.S. Navy crewmen who were washed overboard by a huge wave. The men were standing watch on the diesel-powered submarine Barbell as it was patrolling on the surface. A 3rd crewman, also washed overboard, was rescued, and the search continues for those 2 missing crewmen. The Navy calls it a freak accident. In the waters of Valdez, Alaska, the cleanup of the massive oil spill which occurred 38 days ago continues, with state authorities increasingly critical of the pace of the Exxon Oil Company effort. Chris Bury reports.
Exxon cleanup workers are concentrating on Smith Island, a critical breeding ground for seals. But the methods they are using, washing rocks by hand and spraying them with high-pressure hoses, are not doing the job, according to Alaska officials.
If you're not getting the results that you need to get, you devise new methods.
I think the methods we're employing are working, and I think we will continue to improve and refine those methods as we're doing every day.
The cleanup forces gathered here resemble a major military operation, and Exxon claims it is ahead of schedule in marshaling manpower and equipment. State officials say that's not good enough.
Being ahead of schedule and resources doesn't necessarily relate to being ahead and getting the job done, and they've got a long ways to go.
Exxon has promised to restore 305 miles of oily beaches by September when bad weather sets in. But so far, the state says, less than a mile of beach has actually been cleaned up. Chris Bury, ABC News, Valdez, Alaska.
The official announcement won't come until tomorrow, but sources at NASA tell ABC's Jim Slade that the new launch date for the Space Shuttle Atlantis will almost certainly be this Friday. 2 Atlantis astronauts, Ron Graby and Dave Walker, left the Kennedy Space Center and flew home to Houston today to spend some time with their families during the delay, while NASA engineers work to replace 2 faulty fuel system parts that forced cancellation of Friday's planned launch just seconds before liftoff. New York City today had a festive bicentennial celebration of George Washington's inauguration as our first president. The 41st president, also a George, was on hand along with hundreds of thousands of spectators. Kathleen Dulaski reports.
200 years ago, at this very spot on Wall Street, George Washington became the first president of a budding republic.
So help me God.
That first inauguration was reenacted here today. It is said that George Washington was embarrassed by the pomp and circumstance of his inauguration. He was not convinced that a president could unite the 13 colonies, or that this experiment, democracy, could work. Paying homage to 200 years of presidents, George Bush said he can understand why Washington was concerned.
Who wouldn't have felt some trepidation undertaking a task which had never been tried in the world's history?
Former Chief Justice Warren Burger said we know now that George Washington had nothing to fear. He quoted an historian.
Nothing in all history ever succeeded
like America.
Surely George Washington would not recognize this scene today, but those who paid tribute to him here say Washington would recognize that the experiment he led reluctantly is working. Kathleen Delaskey, ABC News, New York.
Coming up, a look at Panama's struggle to hold an honest Democratic presidential election. But first, tomorrow's weather.
Which spread tastes more like real butter?
Oh, my shed spread country crock, right?
Parkay.
Parkay? Come on, Sheds, back me up. Say something.
Parkay.
Parkay. All right, let me taste.
Yes, in a national taste test, more people agreed.
Parkay spread does taste more like real butter than Sheds. No wonder you're so quiet.
Parkay.
So, how you been?
Parkay spreads better